everyone! You're watching The Roving Arrow, and this is a first in a new series of videos highlighting some of my favorite trails. Planning for a new adventure can be tricky, so it's my goal to give you just enough information that you need to feel prepared, not overwhelmed, when planning for a trip. Today, we're going to explore the Extravaganza Loop, so lace up those boots and let's get going. The Capitol Reef Extravaganza Loop Trail is located in southern Utah and links some of this national park's coolest features into one long trail. This 26-mile trail can be done in one long day or 3 leisurely days if you want to take side trails to explore some of the park's gyms. It doesn't really matter which direction you choose to hike or where you start. There are multiple trailheads to park at, which means you can tailor your hike to fit your needs. The biggest thing to consider when choosing where to start is access to water. There are 3 areas where you can refill your water that should be reliable, but always check with the visitor center before you head out. This is definitely a trail you're going to want to hit at the right time of year. Right after snowmelt, but before the heat of summer kicks in. This trail may be impossible to hike at times due to high water. When we went in mid-April, the weather and water were pretty much near perfect. Fall may also be a good time, but there might not be as good of water sources. Obtaining backcountry permits for this park is incredibly easy, which is one reason why it was our favorite Utah park. Just talk to a park ranger, let them know when and where you want to park, and that's pretty much it. Currently, there are not a lot of backpackers in Capitol Reef, and there is no limit to the number of permits issued, so you don't have to stress about getting one. The permit allows you to camp anywhere in the national park, as long as you're following Leave No Trace principles and camping 200 feet away from water, trails, and roads. This allowed us to spend the night in some of the most beautiful places, tucked away in canyons and far away from any signs of humans. Speaking of lack of humans, it was a relatively quiet trail for a national park. Now, there are more tourists as we approach the popular areas like Chimney Rock, Cassidy Arch, and the Narrows, but most casual tourists don't want to get into the depths of the canyon. In the places less hiked, you could see some wildlife. Possible animals you can see include bighorn sheep, mountain lions, snakes, eagles, and foxes, along with the common animals like deer and squirrel. Now for the trail itself. Again, it can be hiked in any direction, but I'll explain it going clockwise from the visitor center. So the section heading west from the visitor center, there are multiple paths to follow, but in general, you head into Sulphur Creek Canyon, appropriately named because the sulfur found there. This is the wildest of the whole route and arguably the most beautiful. For the longest time, we thought we were the only ones in the canyon walls. The difficulty turns down many day hikers, and this stretch could be dangerous if there had been heavy rains recently or snowmelt, and require some scrambling that should be done with caution. The rocks can be slippery and the water was deep or swift in spots. Departing from the canyon, you're going to cross the road and climb up toward Chimney Rock, where there is an option to take a shortcut or a more scenic route. Chimney Rock Canyon follows, which allows for incredible side canyons to explore. Soon, the trail merges into Spring Canyon, where there are sections of trail that felt pretty sketchy, where a slip would send you tumbling below. The trail is marked with cairns that leads around to an impassable drop-off, but the Slot Canyon is a really cool place to scramble and explore if you have time. Much of this trail is sand, which can really wear you down. And toward the end of this stretch, we did find a bit of water, but it doesn't seem to be a very reliable source. The plants get thicker and the trees more prominent as you approach the Fremont River. On a heavy snow year or with rains, the river may be impassable. And even at low water times, you're still going to be wading across. Then comes a stretch of road walk before you enter the Narrows, which is likely to be the most crowded stretch of the trail. The wind can sweep through the canyon relentlessly, but there are a few little coves where you can find shelter. The turn up to Cassidy Arch is really easy to miss, so keep an eye out for that. Here you're going to face one of the big 3 climbs of the trail. This area can also be pretty busy, and there is a great place to watch a sunset or a sunrise on the side trail to the arch. That way. Continuing on, the trail opens up into a vast landscape with sweeping views. And then it descends into a canyon and then back up the other side. This could be a great place to explore off-trail as well. Finally, the trail descends, also with incredible views, and pops out at a campground. Here you're going to pass a historic farm and walk along the road toward the visitor center, which has water bottle filling stations. And that's the loop! Wayfinding on this trail is relatively easy, but it is always a good idea to carry a mapping compass and GPS map in case you get lost or if you're going to go exploring off-trail. With proper planning, this is a really good trail for people who feel like they can safely scramble over rocks and wade through deep water. There are ultramarathon runners who do this entire loop in a day for training, and even advanced backpackers can get something out of this. Now, I just want to throw a quick little disclaimer out there and let you know that I'm speaking from personal experience. Adventures are inherently risky and trails are always changing, so please check with the visitor center before you head out. Okay, enough talking. It's time for you to get out there. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks.